Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to one of our speakers, who is it's Francesca Zampollo. She's the founder of the International Food Design Society, and she will tell you more about food design.
Good, thank you. Hello everybody, my name is Francesca Zampollo. And there are two things very important that you need to know about me. The first one is that I don't like hair. I think they're useless. And the second one is that every thought I've had for the past 9 years is about food design. So today, I'm not here to talk about hair, but I'm here to tell you about food design. Raise your hand, please, those of you who have a pretty good idea of what food design is. Good. Please come in. No. Good? So, instead of telling you what food design is, I thought I might give you an example. This product has a bright yellow packaging, which is very attractive, and you are immediately attracted to it when you see among other products. This packaging doesn't have an expiration date, but the packaging itself is somehow magical because it changes color. At the beginning it's green and it's telling you I'm not ripe, you don't eat me, and then it becomes a bright yellow, so it's telling you eat me, it's time, and then multiple brown spots start to appear. And the more spots, the more you realize that it's really time for you to eat it because it's going to become bad. The packaging also has a tiny handle, which tells you that you're supposed to open it from there. And when you open it, you realize that you can unpeel different sections of the packaging, while still holding the packaging of the product, not the product itself. So you don't contaminate your hands, or you don't contaminate the product with your dirty hands. The size of the product is perfectly ergonomical. It is exactly the size of your mouth, but it also allows you to take as little or as much as you want. The product itself is soft and sweet and delicious. So this, to me, is an example of food design. So while some designers do something like this, other designers do things like this. This is horrible. There's no way to look at this, it's just disturbing. So don't do this. But if you had to ask me, what is the definition of food design? This is an example of food design, in my opinion, but what is the definition of food design? Like, please ask me, what is the definition of food design?
What is the definition of food design?
Good question. I have no idea. I spent all these years trying to think of a way to define design, but I actually found out that defining this food design would be as difficult as trying to define design itself. So what I've done instead was creating a subcategorization of the huge food design discipline. Because if you Google food design, a lot of very different things are going to come up. So before showing you the different sub-disciplines of food design, let's start from what food design is not. Food design is not food art. This, as great as it is, I don't know if you know this photographer, everything in here is design. Everything in here is food. as good as this is not food design. This is not food design. This, not food design. And this is really not food design. On the other hand, the first of the 5 different sub-disciplines of food design that I'm going to propose to you, and that designers can, and these are basically the 5 different perspectives that designer can have in order to participate to this competition. So this is the first one, design about food. This is the design of all those products that are just inspired by food. Food is not the material itself. These are not designed for food or for eating, but somehow food is an inspiration. So these are T-shirts whose packaging is the same exact packaging that you would find in the product that they represent. All these products for body creams and stuff like that smell and look like food, this is about food. This is a wrapping paper. So again, this is design about food. And this is very interesting. This is a very interesting project. This is a suit with popcorn glued to it, just in case you felt in the mood for a Hitchcock-style suicide. The second sub-discipline of the food design discipline is interior design for food. This is the design of the eating space. Anything that is related to the eating space. Like the Dinner in the Sky, for example. This restaurant that they put in a few places around the world. There's a crane holding this thing up in the air. The Duvet restaurant in New York, for example, where you eat sitting down on beds. Or the Ice Bar, which I'm sure you've heard about. The third sub-discipline of the food design discipline is design with food. This is what chefs and food scientists do. This is the design of the food itself, and it has to do with colors, consistencies, temperatures, and so on. These are 2 representative of the branch of culinary art that we all know very well right now. Is the molecular gastronomy. So here we have all these things that are made in spheres and all things made in foams. And this is an example from Heston Blumenthal. This is inspired by the Drink Me potion in Alice in Wonderland. So if you remember the book, she's drinking this potion and tastes different flavors as she continues drinking. The chef here has been able to recreate those 7 different recipes and has been able to give them the same color and the same consistency. He then designed this glass, which allowed him to layer the different flavors, the different recipes. So when you drink from the straw, you taste the different flavors and the different recipes. This is Ferran Adrià. This is olive oil, but it has been manipulated and it looks like a ring. But when you put it in your mouth, because of saliva and the temperature of your mouth, it will go back to the consistency of olive oil that we all know. And this is something in a bag. It's actually a cyber egg that is served on the table linked to a helium balloon. The chef here, David Escavin, was the first chef to serve laughters at the table. Because when you receive an helium balloon, you know what you're going to do. The fourth sub-discipline of food design is food product design. This is the design of all products where food is the material itself, but they are meant for mass production. Pasta. It's as old as we all know, but it's made for mass production. This is a chocolate bar, for example, that tells you how many calories you're eating in each square.
How sweet.
This is a cup for espresso coffee. It's a cup made of cookie with an internal layer of icing sugar, which makes the cup waterproof, but also sweetens the coffee. And these are toothpicks made of bread. Because when you're eating olives, for example, then you never know where to throw the toothpick. This way, you just eat them. So why didn't anybody think about this before? This is a cookie, for example, for espresso as well. It has an internal layer of chocolate. You put it on the cup, the warmth from the coffee melts the chocolate inside, which goes in your coffee and flavors the coffee. And then you can eat the cookie. And this is a cookie for breakfast. And, you know, when you start your day fighting sharks and winning your fight against sharks, nothing else in the day could ever bother you. And these, some of you might disagree on the recipe, and you might think that they are junk food, but this has been designed with a very specific purpose. And what I would like you to do is to taste Pringles. Can you take one and pass it? The right way, as you have probably never done before. Can you take one and pass it around? Oh no, wait. Don't eat them, wait. Let's take one and wait for a moment. Faster.
Toch doorgeven. En nog niet op die aan niet op die.
Can you pass them on the other side? Yes. Can you pass them? Yeah, that. Do we all have one? Almost? Do we all have one? Yeah? Yes? No? Yes. Yes. Okay, so I'm sure you have already eaten Pringles in your life, but maybe not the right way. Let me educate you. These things are not made to be eaten. They're not made to take just one piece of it. These things are supposed to be put in your mouth this way. Please do. Put them on your tongue. All of them. All of it. And just gently close your mouth and let your tongue crush the Pringle on the palate. While doing this, the Pringle will break it and will cover the entire surface of your tongue, which means that all your taste buds will be involved in this flavor experience. And they want to do this so you can have the best flavor experience possible. And the last sub-discipline of food design is design for food. This is the design of every product that is made to cut, chop, contain, cook, and whatever else with food. This is a writing spoon. It's a spoon that you can dip in coffee, and you can then write with it. And my thought on this is, why not? It looks beautiful, so. This is the smoking glass by Joe Colombo. This guy is a very famous designer, and he was a heavy smoker. And his biggest problem was how to drink while holding the cigarette at the same time. So he designed this glass that allows you to do both things. This is not just a jar of honey. This is a jar of honey, but because of the shape of the container, which is a vase and reminds you of a vase, when you are done eating the honey, you plant a flower and you ask bees to come back. And it's your way to say thank you, bees, and now go and make more honey. These some of you might know, I'm not sure. This is called Moscardino, and it's actually a very famous product that won the most important design prize in Italy. It's called Compasso d'Oro, and it is both a spoon and a fork. But if you ask me, if you have used this as a spoon and then you want to use it as a fork, you are supposed to hold the part that is already dirty. So, this is a series of dishes, plates made by Philips. And the surface of the dish changes color with the weight of the different components and the temperature. This means that as you eat the food on that dish, as your experience goes along, the plates changes as well. The color changes. So your eating experience is less static and a lot more dynamic. And this is a tablecloth which has a pattern made of flowers. But when you accidentally spill wine, then butterflies will appear. So these changes a potentially embarrassing moment, like spilling wine for example, into a magical one, into a surprise.
Wow.
This is a table for two people that are supposed to eat around it. And this is designed to change the dynamics of eating. It's about two people not just trying to find an equilibrium, but also interacting in a very different way. And this, not just because I'm Italian and I put Parmesan everywhere, this is a Parmesan grater, which is made like in the shape of a sharpener. So it makes this beautiful pattern of Parmesan cheese. And this is something completely amazing. This is basically a cup for tea, and it's based on the Japanese tradition of drinking tea, which is the moment where people sit around with family and they exchange stories. Well, this designer recorded the story of an elderly person and engraved it into the cup. So you can actually buy a cup and play the cup into this thing and hear the story from that same person. So this is the way I see food design in very different sub-disciplines. But I also wanted to give you just a couple of words about me and what it is that I do and probably why I'm here. So the thing is that my life is food design, and while I've been thinking about food design in these terms, in this different sub-discipline, I was the type of person who kept saying someone should organize a conference on food design. This was years ago. Someone should start an academic journal on food design. And one day I just woke up and I said, why don't I do it? So I founded the International Food Design Society. The first thing I've done for the International Food Design Society was organizing the first international symposium on food experience design. Sonia, for example, was one of the speakers. And in that moment, we had 7 different perspectives on what food design might be, from 7 very different disciplines. The second thing I've done was organizing the International Conference on Designing Food and Designing for Food, which was the first academic conference on food design and was in London just a few months ago. Before doing this, I actually started my career, let's say, as a food designer, because I graduated in industrial design and my first project were about actually designing food. But I thought that instead of showing you what I've done, I might actually give it to you.
That we like.
So what I'm going to do is to try and elegantly throw at you a few snacks. Coming this way, that way. That way.
Who wants to share?
Over there. Over there. Over there at the top, let's see. Over here, over there. That's 3.
What is that, chocolate?
1, 2, 3.
It's good?
So this snack is called Unico. I have designed it for this company called Venki, which is a company that is filled with tradition. They made pralines basically. So what they wanted to do was expanding their market, creating a snack, which is something that they didn't have. So I was an industrial designer at that time. I wasn't a chef. So I didn't design the recipe. I didn't choose the flavors to be put on the snack. That was somebody else's job. My job was to design the shape. And I've designed it based on the most interesting thing that I've learned about chocolate. There are 2 different types of chocolate eaters. There are the aggressive eaters, those who like to bite chocolate and chew it, and the reflexive eaters, those who like to take small bites and let the chocolate melt into their mouth. So the extremity of the snacks are designed for the aggressive eater. You see, it follows the shape of your palate, so you can take a big part of it and chew it. And the middle part, which is wider and thinner, is for the reflective eater. So you can take a smaller bite and let it melt into your mouth. I'm done. But before going, I want to conclude telling you the reasons why I love this discipline so much, why I'm in love with this discipline, and also why I'm so excited there is a competition for designers, which looks at baking in particular. I love food design because it's designed with food history and designed for food history. Food design is fun. And even more fun. And even more fun. Food design is functional and even more functional. Food design is ergonomically perfect. Food design gives you choices. Food design makes music. Food design solves problems, like the ice cream drops, which goes straight back into the floor.
Wow.
And sometimes food design is perfect just the way it is. Food design saves lives and gives beautiful smiles to your dog. Food design is iconic and even more iconic. And sometimes food design is just a beautiful idea. Food design takes you into space. Food design is wearable. Food design is unforgettable. And sometimes, food design is just beautiful. Thank you for listening.